Hey guys, WalterFootball.com video here. Going to talk about Aaron Rodgers signing with the Steelers, or he said he's going to on Friday, and then he's going to do that before next week's minicamp. So going to get into that. Going to grade this signing. Going to also talk about Rashod Bateman for a little bit at the end. Before we get into all that, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description for the merch store. All that would mean a lot to us. And visit WalterFootball.com for tons of content. We have a full write-up for this grade, as well as Rashod Bateman on the site. We have mock drafts. We have fantasy football rankings. Picks against the spread are coming in the fall. We have baseball picks, prop bets at least, NBA picks against the spread for the finals. So we have all that at WalterFootball.com. All the content's free, so check it out. All right, Aaron Rodgers said that he plans to fly to Pittsburgh on Friday, which is tomorrow, to sign with the team ahead of next week's minicamp. So this should surprise no one, except for maybe Terry Bradshaw, who is probably crying himself to sleep right now, or maybe enjoying an alcoholic beverage and just kind of being upset about it because he said that the Steelers were crazy for going after him. And it wasn't really that crazy. I mean, Steelers are a team with a great defense. Obviously, they have TJ Watt and some other great players on that side of the ball. They have an offensive line that looks like pretty decent. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good. They traded for DK Metcalf. They have a couple of talented running backs. They have a good head coach. So they have everything they need except for a quarterback. Right now, it's Mason Rudolph. And, I know the fans love Mason Rudolph, but he can only take a team so far. He's a solid backup. He's nothing more than that. He's not going to lead a team to the Super Bowl, whereas Aaron Rodgers can if he's 100%. Now, the people, especially Jets fans, might be thinking, how can Aaron Rodgers possibly do that? He was so terrible last year, and he was, I think in EPA, I think he was ranked as like the 26th or so starting quarterback in the NFL, which is obviously very poor. The 26th ranked quarterback is not going to lead a team to any sort of Super Bowl or really even to the playoffs. But Aaron Rodgers was recovering from a torn Achilles that year, and we saw it with Kirk Cousins as well. It's the same injury to an older quarterback, especially. Whenever you come back from a torn Achilles, like a brutal injury like that, it's going to take a while to recover. Now, Rodgers is going to have another year removed from that. So by the start of the season, he's going to have 2 years removed from the torn Achilles. So I really like this signing for that reason, because it feels like this is a buy low opportunity for the Steelers. They get Rodgers, I assume, cheaply. We obviously don't know the terms of the contract yet. It's going to be for 1 year, so it's not going to hurt the Steelers long term. But yeah, it's going to give the Steelers an opportunity to go far into the playoffs. The Rodgers, if he's healthy. Now, the main concern for me is no longer the injury; it's his age. Rodgers is going to be 42 in December. Now, we just saw Tom Brady win a Super Bowl in his 40s, so it could certainly happen. But there's only one Tom Brady, and I don't know if Rodgers is going to be able to do that. But he does give Pittsburgh the best chance to go deep into the playoffs and the Super Bowl. Outside of that, maybe Kirk Cousins, but they'd have to trade for Cousins because he's currently on the Falcons. Whereas they can sign Rodgers, not give up any draft capital, and just have him on the team. So I like this move a lot. I gave it an A grade on the site. Like I said, there's a full write-up on this on the website, but I think that there's not much downside and it's all upside, and maybe it would be much ado about nothing. Maybe the Steelers will once again go 9-8, lose in the first round, or maybe not make the playoffs. That can certainly happen, but at least this gives them an upside they didn't have without Rodgers. Whereas, like I said, Mason Rudolph is just a serviceable backup who's not going to go far into the playoffs. The first round, we saw him go to the first round a couple of years ago and lose to the Bills. That's how far he's going to take the team. Like, they had no chance with him. I know that TJ Watt was out, but still, even if Watt played, they were not going to beat the Bills. They're not going to beat the Bills, Ravens, or Chiefs with Mason Rudolph. At least they have a chance with Rodgers if he can kind of regain his as pre-2023 form. Also, Rashod Bateman signed with the Ravens, 3 years, $36 million contract or so. I think it was $36.8 million contract. If you saw that contract a year ago, you would have given this an F grade or a Millen grade, as we do on WalterFootball.com, because he had never exceeded 550 receiving yards before last year. Now, last year he got to 700 or so. He scored 9 touchdowns. Now, those 9 touchdowns were very fluky. I wouldn't expect that to happen again. I think he will regress to like 4 or 5 touchdowns, which would have been his career high before last year anyway. So I think that he's an okay number 2 receiver. I think the Ravens could certainly do better than him, but they could also do worse. So I think keeping him around is just fine. But I think it's a bit too much money for my liking. They gave it a C grade on the site. So as with the Rodgers signing, you can see the full write up there. So that's it for this episode here. We're going to do a live broadcast tonight. Another fantasy football mock draft, and we're going to have a special guest on, guy with a big following on YouTube, so it's going to be exciting. So join us then. Otherwise, just please hit like, subscribe, comment below this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store, and check out walterfootball.com for more content, and I will talk to you later.